Palm Beach, Florida. Mansions face the shoreline. Pricey jewels fill the store windows. Bentleys dot the boulevards. But just down the road, the bling disappears as if a wave swept it away.
If Palm Beach is high-end, top chef, Boynton Beach is meatloaf.
A tropical blend of strip malls, side by side with palm trees, retirees, and young folks just starting out. It's home to petite, soft-spoken Dalia Dippolito. She is Boynton Beach's most unlikely and notorious celebrity.
I didn't do anything.
The wrong kind.
Miss Dippolito, is your husband Michael?
Her road to infamy began with this video. It looks like police telling Dalia her husband of just 6 months was murdered.
Okay, I'm sorry to tell you, ma'am, he's been killed.
But watch closely, because nothing in this case is what it seems.
Try to calm down.
Turns out police are duping Dalia. That whole crime scene, it's fake. Police claim Dalia ordered a hit on her husband and that they have hidden camera video to prove it.
Nobody's gonna be able to point a finger at me.
First comes love, then comes marriage, then murder. This story was on newscasts everywhere.
Dalia Dippolito.
She is the Boynton Beach newlywed.
Caught on tape taking a contract out on her husband.
The hitman turned out to be an undercover cop.
Police staged a fake murder scene.
For 6 years, hounded by the press, but never saying a word. Until now.
Walking on the sidewalk right now, this doesn't happen very often.
No, this doesn't happen at all. This is the first time I've had a walk in a long time.
Yeah, your every move is monitored.
She's under house arrest, accused of solicitation to commit murder, tethered to an ankle bracelet.
That's what it looks like, and it doesn't come off at all.
She says she's on medication for what is unsurprising, depression and anxiety, and that faith is what gets her through each day. Her favorite escape? Listening to worship music. Her favorite band? Hillsong.
All the songs are just about people going through struggles. I feel like I'm, casting away the negativity and just really bringing in light.
What's been the hardest part?
Not knowing when it's over, not being able to leave, watching everybody around me being able to come and go as they want, and I can't do that, and just trying to be happy for them as they're coming back and forth and stuff.
Her downfall began, she says, the day she met what she thought was her dream man.
What was your initial impression of Mike Dippolito?
Charming.
He was a workout fanatic and self-employed marketer, and more than a decade older. But no matter, they had instant chemistry.
What drew you to him?
He was really, really engaging, and I felt a really strong connection.
We seemed to hit it off really quick.
What do you think Michael saw in you?
My personality.
I guess we were active sexually, that seemed to be on point.
Well, there was that. And of course, Mike had a Porsche, seemed to have plenty of money, and a nice new condo in this complex, Renaissance Commons. What better setup to start a new life?
I would say I was naive in that I just never imagined something out as crazy as what happened would happen. You would never see that coming.
Indeed. Who would have imagined that the Dippolitos would be a duo on the tip of so many tongues?
Dalia Dippolito.
Dalia Dippolito.
When people hear the name Dalia Dippolito, what do you think comes to mind?
Everything negative. All the headlines, the person they're describing, it's definitely not me.
When Dalia sat down with us for her first television interview, she wanted to talk about a very different Dalia. A girl with a normal upbringing who danced, played sports.
I had a really great childhood, happy, had a lot of friends.
She went to Catholic high school, then on to college, and soon after got a real estate license, a career choice as natural in South Florida as sunscreen at the beach. For someone with a personality like she describes.
I didn't have a hard time getting along with people.
Shirley didn't have trouble getting along with Mike. The two lovebirds were so happy dating, it was only a small issue that he was, well, married to someone else.
I was told that he was going through the divorce proceedings.
Would you have had a problem had that not been the case, if he just was a married guy who was looking for some fun on the side?
Yes.
Mike had a past, but he says so did Dalia. Mike says Dalia wasn't just selling real estate, she was selling herself as an escort.
Well, I didn't meet her in church. That's obvious. Needless to say, you know, I was married. I made a bad decision. I called an escort, and she came.
Okay, so it may not have been exactly a fairy tale romance, but Mike says he fell for her regardless. And just a few months later, he got divorced, and they wasted no time. 5 days later, they were married.
Why rush into the marriage? Why say, okay, your divorce is final, let's run to the courthouse and get married?
It clearly wasn't well thought out.
But from all appearances, it was working out. By day, the newlyweds exchanging love notes.
We weren't like the party type or anything like that, and so I liked the homey type of, environment.
Their nights, Dahlia says, often spent snuggling at home watching reality TV. Shows like Cheaters and Real Housewives of New York.
Okay, no, it's not right.
You gonna fight with me now?
Did Mike love it? Did you love it? Did you love it together?
He liked the fact that people would be on these shows and essentially get paid to do nothing. It's just watching them at home or on their couch.
Back then, it was all innocent fun, she says. Two people just dreaming together of being on TV.
He said, if they could do it, if you're watching these people do it, there's no reason why, we can't do it. We look better than those people, and why not?
But Dahlia says there was a darker side to Mike, something he was hiding, something big.
After months of being together, his probation officer showed up at our home, and I had no idea who it was. When he told me, he just completely downplayed everything.
She says Mike failed to mention he was a convicted felon. Years ago, he'd been to prison for fraud after scamming investors out of tens of thousands of dollars.
Probation until 2032.
Right, and that was something else that I didn't know either. I wouldn't have dated him if I would have known.
That's just silly. That's a lie. She's lying.
Mike says he was trying to live a very clean life to be sure he didn't violate his parole, which is why he got worried a couple of months into the marriage when strange things start happening.
7 years, I guess, prior, I had no run-ins with the police. I meet Dahlia, and then within 6 months, I'm probably pulled over, had my house searched, and grabbed at every other area in Palm Beach probably 8 times.
The cops say there's a reason they keep pulling him over. They are getting anonymous tips that he's dealing drugs.
And I'm like, well, how's this happening?
Strange things going on in his life and in Dahlia's too. Police say after just 6 months of marriage, she has other men in her life. Men who are helping her with a secret plan to get Mike's money, his condo, and get him out of the way. One of those men is in the front seat of this car.
Your life straight after this, seriously, don't ever do,
And they're not talking about the weather.
Killing somebody, come on. I mean, that's, nobody's gonna be able to point a finger at me.
Next, the honeymoon is over.
I was a little surprised. It wasn't like, kill him nicely. It wasn't even like, do it nice, don't hurt him, or...
Dahlia's alleged scheming is about to become a video sensation.
I'm a lot tougher than what I look. I know you're like, oh, what a cute little girl, whatever. But I'm not.
I could just watch the video over and over. It just is one of those clips that never gets old.
The Boynton Beach Police Department, a small building in a quiet South Florida town. But what came out of here could hardly have been any bigger or louder. Terry Parker, investigative reporter for WPBF 25 News, covered the story.
So this guy Muhammad walks into the Boynton Beach police station and he says, I know a woman who's trying to hire a hitman to kill her husband.
She has to find someone who can kill her husband for her.
The man, Mohammed Shahadi, was recorded as he talked to detectives about his one-time lover, Dahlia DiPolito. He tells police he's speaking out to save the man's life.
Are you scared for the guy?
Yes, because she's really, dead serious on getting this done.
It's quite a story, if true, because while he can describe Dahlia,
she's maybe 5'6", 5'7", dark black hair. She's a good-looking girl, really good-looking girl, actually.
He can't even tell cops her last name or her address.
Well, at the time, we didn't know what to believe. We were kind of, weren't sure what we had.
They had the reservations. They had to say, let's see some proof.
To get proof, the cops make Mohammed a confidential informant. He arranges to meet Dahlia at this gas station. Cops are staked out as their mystery woman arrives.
And she actually stepped out of the car. We were surprised because she didn't look like the type.
She didn't look like a killer, but Detective Alex Moreno says she's about to show her true colors. She gets into Mohammed's silver Lexus. While you can't quite see them on the hidden camera cops had installed, you can sure hear them talking about a hitman.
This guy's a professional. It's not bull.
Once she gets in the car and she meets up with the informant, we realized that this guy was credible.
His mom is not going to get suspicious of you or anything like that.
Why me? Like, do you know what telling somebody it? Nobody's going to be able to point a finger at me.
She's just talking about it like she's ordering lunch.
Randy Schultz is a columnist for the Sun Sentinel newspaper.
You think, this is just so cold, not really acting like the typical newlywed, shall we say.
Mohammed tells Dahlia the hitman wants $1,200 to buy a gun. She comes prepared. She has a wad of cash in her bag and counts it out and hands it over. And shortly afterward, gives him a photo of Mike.
Wipe my pants off the pictures. Really? You're gonna give him something with fingerprints all over?
And at that moment, the detectives realize, we've got her. This is real. She just handed him $1,200 in a picture of the husband that she wants murdered.
We were shocked how easily she talked about getting her husband killed.
2 days later, the talk turns to action in this CVS parking lot. She's not there to pick up a prescription.
So I came here, I pretty much parked in this exact spot right here.
This is Whitty Jean, an undercover police officer.
She parked one to the third space from here.
Police say Dahlia thinks she is meeting an actual hitman in his cherry red convertible.
We're staying in Paris.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
He makes his plan crystal clear.
I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do it and when exactly it's going to be done.
A burglary gone wrong that leaves Mike dead.
Everybody works in the daytime.
Right.
When he's at work, when he's not at work, then, he gets to it ahead.
For the undercover detective, he really wants to nail Dahlia. Make sure he's got it on tape and on camera that she is really going to pay him to kill her husband. And he says, are you sure, Dahlia?
Between now and when it's done, you're not going to have an option to change your mind, even if you change your mind.
No, there's no, I'm determined already. I'm positive, 5,000% sure.
There it is. The press would have a field day with this line. Listen again. She's 5,000% sure.
I'm positive, 5,000% sure. No, when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it.
No, she wasn't just 100% sure. She was 5,000% sure that she wanted her husband killed.
I was a little shocked because I didn't think she was going to be that open.
Dahlia never backs off.
No, I'm not going to, I'm a lot tougher than what I look. I know you're like, oh, what a cute little girl, whatever. But I'm not.
You're extremely beautiful.
Thank you, but, I just need to make sure everything's going to get taken care of.
The not-so-cute little girl agrees to a plan. She will leave the house early Wednesday morning.
I'll be in the house by 6:30 Wednesday morning, 6 o'clock.
Sure enough, she's at this gym around 6 a.m. Wednesday, leaving Mike DiPolito home alone, in bed, still recovering from liposuction from 2 weeks before.
At this point, the police have all the evidence they need. These are experienced officers. You know that you have enough. You have a case. Done. End of story. But not end of television show.
Television show?
Bad boys, what you gonna do when they come for you?
That's right. Turns out a reality show has come to Boynton Beach.
Got the video?
Yep.
And the timing couldn't be better. They'll be able to film the last part of the police investigation.
Detectives, they were going to stage this fake crime scene.
I hear a banging on the door.
Sorry, yes. Sergeant Sheriff, Boynton Police Department.
The TV show cameras are rolling when police wake up Mike. That's Officer Moreno at the door.
Your wife has hired a person to kill you.
Relax, just relax. Take it easy.
Take a deep breath.
Better sit down.
The guy was totally in shock that this was going on.
I was very surprised. I was like, because then it hit me like, this is a mess.
They drive him away and transform the street to make it appear they're really investigating Mike's murder. The TV show cops, along with Boynton Beach police, have cameras rolling when a detective calls Dahlia at the gym.
We're at your residence, ma'am. Can you come right back to your residence, please?
She's back in a flash, and now watch carefully. You be the judge of what happens next.
Is your husband Michael? Okay, I'm sorry to tell you, ma'am. He's been killed. He's been killed, ma'am. I'm sorry. Listen. Try to calm down.
We know the cops are acting.
I can't let you see him, ma'am.
What about Dahlia?
I need you to take her to the station.
Amidst all of that tremors and shaking of her body, there wasn't any real tears coming out of her eyes.
The crying, the screaming, the bending over. Meryl Streep, wherever you are tonight, don't worry, you're safe.
They hustled Dahlia off to this interrogation room for questioning. Another recorded moment.
Are you sure that you don't know anybody who want to kill your husband? You wouldn't want to kill him, I hope. Not at all.
It's almost like something out of Law and Order.
There's no more games with you and I. Now we're going to get down to serious business. I want to know if you know this guy. Come here.
They bring in Officer Witty Jean, the supposed hitman from the car.
Get over here. You know who this guy is?
No.
You've never seen him before?
I've never seen him before.
She just stared at him. She said she didn't know him.
And then call it a resurrection.
Oh my God.
He's alive.
Police have another surprise for Dahlia DiPolito.
Here, please. Come here. Mike, come here.
She sees her husband, and he's alive.
The show Cops captures this moment as well.
Come here, please. Come here. Why not? I didn't do anything to you. Mike, come here, please.
What? You're alive? I love that moment, and I'm sure a jury will too.
You're going to jail today for solicitation of murder. You're under arrest.
I didn't do anything.
Did you hear what I just told you?
You kept saying, I didn't do anything.
Please, I didn't do anything.
Was that all you could think of to say?
They were accusing me of trying to have my husband killed, and I didn't.
Didn't do anything? What about the hitman? What about all those tapes? Dahlia's never answered questions about her version.
How do you explain what we have all seen and heard on those videotapes?
For the first time, she will.
Hi everybody, this is Gatsad for the Sad Truth. Show number 200. Yes, I thought that today I would repeat the exercise that I first conducted for the 100th episode, wherein I share key metrics of the channel, and you'll see that its growth has been nothing short of phenomenal, and I have all of you viewers to thank for its spread and reach, so thank you. So let's start with some key metrics. When I did the 100th show, by the way, it took me, I started the channel, my first clip was in August 2014, and I reached the 100th episode in November 2015, so it took about 15 months. And from then till today, I reached the next 100. So it took me 15 months to do the first 100 and roughly 7 months to do the second 100. So you get a sense of how many more postings I've been doing, roughly double the amount. So it's been a very, very exciting and exhausting process, but certainly very rewarding. So what I'll do is for each of the metrics, I'll give you the number that it was at the 100th show, and then contrast it with what it is for the 200th show. So here we go. Number of subscribers, roughly 18,400 after 100, 40,730 currently. The current numbers are from a few minutes ago. Number of total views, 490,278 in November 2015, 2,106,472 today, so more than 4 times greater. The total number of time that people had spent viewing my clips in November, up to November for the 100th show, 7 years and 51 days, and now 48 years and 46 days. So almost half of a century I've taken from your lives as my memes have parasitized your brains. In terms of country reach or territory reach, it was at 197, it's now at 218. Obviously there's a ceiling effect, and so it's still nice that it continues to increase. I don't know what is the optimum or the maximum number, but 218 seems like we're almost getting there. There had been 9,635 comments posted. We're now at 23,344. 33,554 likes back in November, 120,021 likes today, 495 dislikes back then, 2,115 dislikes. The like to dislike ratio back in November was at 98.5%. It has dropped off to 98.3%. And again, I don't mean to toot my horn here, but I mean, think about the types of topics that I tackle. These are oftentimes, the most politically incorrect, the most contentious topics, and the internet is one brutal place to air your ideas. And so to have 98.3% approval rate again suggests that the tone of the discussions, the tone of the delivery is right. And so thank you for your support. Much appreciated. March forward. At the time, I had 11 guests. So remember, I have some shows where I just sort of open up the computer and chat, face the computer and just talk about something, or maybe post a lecture. And I also have some one-on-one chats. At the time, in November, I had 11 guests. We're now up to, if I counted correctly, 44 guests. So almost a four-fold increase of guests. And I have several upcoming guests that I think you'll be excited about. I'll talk about these in a second. I had started my Patreon account a few months prior to the 100th episode. At the time, I had 64 patrons. I now have 327 patrons, so a very nice growth. Roughly, the average is about $4 a month that people are giving, which, of course, I'm very, very thankful for. But to put it in context, again, if I may engage in a plea, if I have 40,000 plus subscribers, of which only 300 and some are contributing financially, that's not a very high number. I'm thankful for each of you. And by the way, I won't be recognizing people individually, because I had posted what people thought I should do, and many, many people thought that one should always assume that these donations are anonymous unless otherwise told. A few people had tweeted, yeah, I don't mind. But there doesn't seem to be a systematic way. So rather than offend somebody either for mentioning them or for not mentioning them, I'll just sort of give out a collective shout out for all those who've contributed. I think the highest contributor was somebody who gave $100 per month. And of course, the lowest are people who are giving $1 per month. Again, it doesn't take much. Think about when you go to Starbucks to get a coffee. For a few dollars, you could have access to all of this content, which again takes me a tremendous amount of time to put together, in the order of many, many hundreds of hours. So your support would be appreciated. Of course, if you can't support me financially, then you could share the clips and so on. So there are a multitude of ways that you could support me. By the way, if you notice to my left, there is a poster that is conspicuously displayed. That's actually a poster that was sent to me by one of my followers. Unbelievably generous, right? I mean, this person doesn't personally know me, and yet he felt compelled to actually go out of his way to create this poster, to ship it to me, which I've since, of course, proudly put in a framed. So there you have it. So people have sent me at times books, other times just lovely words, in this case a gorgeous poster. So there are all sorts of ways that one can share their support. Of course, most importantly, it's simply the fact that you watch, that you engage the ideas, that you share the ideas, and anything beyond that is certainly bonus. So thank you. What else have I got for you? Oh yeah, so some upcoming guests. Next Tuesday, Gareth Cliff, who is a very popular radio and TV personality out of South Africa, and he's got a big portal that he founded in South Africa. Then I've got David Pacman. Some of you may know him. I've appeared on his show many times. He'll be coming on mine. Then I'll be appearing on the Renegade Report, which is also a South African podcast. that is hosted under the Gareth Cliff umbrella. Then Dr. Jonah Berger, who is a professor of marketing at Wharton, he's got a book that just came out. Great guy, does wonderful research, serious guy. So we'll be talking about his latest book and also about all sorts of other interesting research streams. Then, this is the first time this is announced. I haven't even announced it yet on my social portals. It's confirmed that Dr. David Wood, who is a very staunch, very frontal critic of Islam, will be joining me. We haven't exactly set the date, but I know that he has agreed to come on the show, so that should be a triggering event. And then I also have Dr. Shadi Hamid, who is a scholar at the Brookings Institute, or institution, I can't remember what the exact title of the entity is. He has a book that just came out called Islamic Exceptionalism, and so we'll be having a chat. So a lot of great guests coming up, and several other ones that I've got in the works. I won't mention them until they're confirmed. I won't be releasing these probably as I tape them, because I might be taking a vacation at some point, hopefully soon, and so at least you won't get any GAD withdrawal symptoms if I release them in a pulsed manner, maybe once a week or something to that effect. So in any case, your summer is guaranteed more GAD to love, more GAD to appreciate, but again, return the love. Reciprocity is a Darwinian mechanism, people. If you don't reciprocate, then you are violating one of the fundamental social norms that guide, that lubricate our friendships. So do the right thing, go to Patreon, and provide any support that you can. Thank you so much. I'm truly humbled. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's incredible what a journey this has been. You know, when you publish academic work, of course, it's part of what I do as an academic, and I love it, and I certainly will never want to stop, but it's a very slow process, right? It takes years from the time that you think up of an idea to implementing the research, to writing up the paper or book that you're working on, to having it go through the review process, to have it come out, and then at that point, if it's an academic paper, you know, you're happy if 50 people cite it. Whereas here, look at the reach, right? I mean, I could open the computer, and within a few minutes, thousands and thousands of people, in this case, 2+ million views, you know, in less than 2 years. So it's been wonderful, and I hope that the growth will continue at such a pace, if not at a faster pace. So thank you for all your support, and to those who post obnoxious comments, hey, it's part of the deal, I guess, but maybe you could stop telling me about how much I blink. I mean, extraordinarily obnoxious. I blink because my eyes get unbelievably tired at staring at this damn green light. And so my eyeballs get tired, and so I end up having a physiological response where I blink a lot. When you meet me in person, I don't blink to the same extent. So we get it. I blink a lot. You don't have to keep posting trolling comments. It's annoying. It's stupid. It's idiotic. But nonetheless, all of the members of the Blink Brigade, I still love you. Thanks, guys. Have a great end of the week. Thanks for your support. I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.